Welcome to Art du Jour, December the 28th. We have 3 more days of Art du Jour to play with for the year 2016. I did record a little video today and let you guys know that Art du Jour won't be a daily thing in January, but that I do plan to make art projects all during the month of January. So I hope that you will continue to join me every day for, not every day, maybe 2 or 3 times a week for some Art du Jour. It'll be Art de week or Art de deux a week. I'm not very good with French. Today we are making one of my very, very favorite elements, homemade elements, and that is we're making art glass. I was introduced to this by the fabulous Jennibellie, and I think that right now is a great time to make art glass because we're just kind of surrounded by, you know, glittery objects, and you can use ribbons or you can use tinsel. Is beautiful in this project. You can see that I had some tinsel with my my original. Can you guys see that? With my original, or there we go. That's a little bit better. You can see the tinsel in this beautiful art glass. The way that we start out art glass is, it's also something that everybody has right now, is we use these blister packs. You know, everything comes in a blister pack. So in order to keep this out of the recycling, I'm always looking for uses for it. So you just cut a piece of blister pack and then paint it with glitter glue. And I think I got this glitter glue maybe at the dollar store. It was maybe 3 for $1, something like that. You paint one side with glitter glue and then you let that dry. And then you flip it over and you paint the other side with glitter glue. The tricky part of making art glass is that you have to cut it really tiny. And Jenny has like the best, just the best idea about trying to cut this really tiny. Now hang on a second and I need to get something for us to put our art glass in. There we go. Art glass can be used in mixed media projects. It can be used, I am using it on some cards that I'm making in January. You know, we think about snow and we think about sparkly things in January. So I think the sparkle of the snow kind of negates the horror of of January when it's just cold and yucky. So, all right, yeah, it's obvious that I'm not a fan of winter. But, so I've got both of the sides painted on my art glass. It does take this a little while to get dry, so it's not something that you can paint on one side and then flip it over and paint on the other side and then cut it immediately. You have to let it get dry. The process for cutting art glass, and Jenny describes this really perfectly. I will link to her original tutorial. The trick to it is cutting your blister pack, painted blister pack, into tiny strips like this. I hope you guys can see that. Okay, so we've got our tiny strips. And then you turn the paper and you're going to cut. And this makes super fine particles of plastic that look like glass. Wear glasses when you do this because these are super fine particles. Okay, so you can see what I'm coming up with. I keep standing up so I can make sure that you guys can see this. Can you see the little particles in there? All right, I'm going to continue to cut this. And then we'll add more. We'll add some more to our art glass to give it a super sparkle. Again, tinsel works great with this. If you have any sort of shimmery, shiny, anything. You know, you just cut it into tiny, tiny pieces, and it just looks so pretty on mixed media. I used this on my shadow boxes that I made for Art du Jour. I think I made those the week of Christmas, but I really can't remember. Okay, we're making some progress. And yeah, you know, it does take a little bit of effort, but think about it. You're keeping the blister pack out of the landfill. You know, you're recycling, repurposing. You're looking at something in a whole new way and making it into a whole different object. Plus, I don't think art glass is like readily available in like craft stores. I've never seen it, but honestly, I've never looked for it because I learned how to do this from Jenny years ago. It's a satisfying crunchy sound, huh? Okay. Oops. Lost a piece. Alright, it's getting really kind of hard to deal with at this point, so I'm just going to chop this. And then I'll give the very end a little bit of a chop too. Okay, alright, now this is what we have, y'all. And I know it's a little bit hard to see, but this is the blister pack glass. It's very beautiful. The next thing that I'm going to add to my art glass is I add a shimmery strip from a Christmas card. You know, we recycled some Christmas cards when we did our deconstructed Christmas cards. This is another way to use Christmas cards. We're doing the same thing. We're making some, cutting this way. And then we're turning the strip and cutting this way. So we have tiny, tiny little, almost microscopic squares. Okay. Almost done with this. And there we go. Alright, now I will add more in there, but you can see the shimmer is just incredible. Then I have some gold. I did want to add just a little bit of gold. If you've got ribbons and bows left over that have any, you know, tinsel kind of quality to it, those are super pretty too. Uh-oh, that was a big piece, sorry. We're almost to the point where we're... And this is something that requires patience, y'all. It's a good meditative thing to do. Because you can't do it fast or you're going to cut your finger. And there we go. We're almost to the end here. Can't hold it much longer. Okay. Kind of another cool thing to put in your art glass is seed beads. And I only have these because one of my sweet friends gave some to me. So I'm going to add a few seed beads in here. That is very pretty. Now, I'm going to show you how this looks, and you're just not going to believe how beautiful it is. I'm making a card for, like I said, for January. And what we'll do is we'll just put a little bit, now you can use either tacky glue, which dries clear, but the trick is here that you're going to want a clear drying glue. And I'm using diamond glaze. I like using diamond glaze because it disappears entirely. You know, sometimes if you use tacky glue, it does leave a little bit of a residue. So let's just, I think what I want to do is do I think what I want to do is just do a little branch that's coming off a tree this way. Okay. And I'll take my glue, my dimensional glue. This isn't coming out, y'all. I need to grab a needle and poke through the top of it. Be right back. Okay, y'all, sorry. I had to open my glue. Alright. Now what we'll do just squeeze a little bit out along the branch. And then we'll just sprinkle our art glass right there. And what you get is just so pretty. You guys see that okay? Okay, good. And all it is a blister pack, you know, a piece of plastic that we've coated with some glitter glue. It just turns out so pretty. I'm going to let that sit for just a minute. I'll get this down here. It still doesn't want to come out too good. Okay. Alright, I'm going to let that sit for just a minute, and then we'll knock off the residue. And when we knock off the residue, we're just going to put it right back into the container. And there we go. And that's going to be a branch, and then I think I'm going to put a happy little owl here and make a card that would be really a nice card to send somebody in January, maybe for a January birthday. Thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you will try some art glass. I'm going to put Jenny's original tutorial, a link to it, down in my description box. Please try it, y'all. It's really fun. It's a great way to keep that plastic out of the landfill. Thanks for joining me for Art du Jour, December the 28th, and I will see you tomorrow.